so now that we done discussed LeBron, his performance and all that jazz, but now it's on to the real big thing. It's Game 7. Game 7. I mean, Boston versus Miami Heat.
Do or die.
Do or die. You know, if one of these teams lose, we ain't never gonna hear the end of it on Twitter. Twitter gonna go crazy if one team loses.
No, it's not even like that. If Miami loses, you would never ever hear the end of it.
No,
but
we won't.
I look at it like this: if that would have been Miami that would have got beaten like that, it would have been over for them. I mean, the criticism would have been terrible.
I mean, but don't you think it's rightfully so in some
I'm just saying, Boston though. I mean, you don't hear no type of criticism come their way. Paul Pierce was horrible.
I mean, from certain people, we criticize them.
I mean, we criticize America.
Oh no, America, no.
Sports fans, they don't criticize.
No,
they don't criticize them, but that's just the way of the league. But
I mean, it's the way of the league.
Game 7, do or die, win or go home. Bring all your A game. If you don't, it's over. Me prediction, have to go Miami. Period. I think Boston is done. I think they're tired. Their legs are tired. I think they're running out of gas. Honestly, Paul Pierce has a hard time guarding LeBron James. I mean, it's not the Paul Pierce from 2008. No. He did it in 2008. Him and LeBron James was going at it.
Yeah, sure.
He's not the same Paul Pierce.
He's not.
I mean, he's still the truth, but he might be telling a lie sometimes. I mean,
sometimes
he might be telling. Last game he told a lie.
I've seen his lies this series.
Last game he told a lie. I'm taking Miami. I don't think it's going to quite be a blowout because Boston has too much pride. They have too much of this. You know, I'm taking them. I don't think it's going to be a tight game, but I'm taking Miami by 10. Miami by 10.
Okay, I'm taking Miami. I mean, I picked Miami originally in one of my previous episodes to beat Boston, but they're probably in a 5-game series. So me and him, he said sweep originally. We actually gave.
No, I said 6. I said Miami and 6.
Okay, so we actually gave them both more credit. You know, so I mean, we gave Miami a lot of credit. And they upset both of our predictions. You know, thankfully we didn't put no money. Thankfully I ain't put no money on there because I'd be broke right now. But you know, I'm picking Miami. I said it before. If they win Game 6, I just did not see them going home losing. Like you said, to me, Boston's just they out of gas. I mean, I ain't never seen KG miss a layup. Nobody seemed like that. I mean, to be at your home. At home with your home crowd and just not show any intensity, that bothered me.
I mean, they were out of rhythm. Miami took them out of the game from the beginning. But my thing is, home court advantage means a lot. But Miami's crowd is not the greatest crowd in the world. But I have a feeling in this Game 7, it's going to be like an OKC crowd. And if that happens, I mean, of course the players have to play.
Yeah, right.
But if that happens, on top of LeBron performing like I think he will do, now, I really think Dwayne Wade will break out of his shell because averaging 5 points in the first half of games is terrible.
Just stop bringing it up.
It's terrible.
Y'all, you're gonna make me just.
It's terrible. It's egregious. And if it's the need, I know he doesn't make excuses, but if you're hurting your team more than you're helping your team,
he make excuses.
But it's going to take a Herculean effort from everybody on the roster in the Miami Heat because Boston would not go down. I mean, they would not go down without a fight, flat out.
And I think Boston understands, like they did in previous games, that somebody else is going to have to step up. If Boston is truly playing at their hardest and their best, they know somebody else on Miami has stepped up. I mean, let's be real. That's how Boston has gotten this far. It's always been somebody. Either Wade stepped up, maybe LeBron didn't, or LeBron stepped up, and maybe Chalmers and Battier didn't step up. It's always somebody on the Heat that did not help out, and it impacts it, whether it's in the clutch, whether it's in the fourth or third quarter. I mean, I really think if Miami's going to win this game, no matter if LeBron scores 40, 80, or 10, somebody else has to step up and help out. It cannot just be LeBron, or if it's just Wade, it just can't be Wade. This has to be a team effort. We know Boston's going to come with a team effort. We just don't know for how long.
My thing is, I'm going to get on a couple players in Miami.
Oh, Lord.
Maybe Coach Spo, because first of all, I don't understand why Mike Miller's on the team anymore. Mike Miller hasn't hit a shot since he got signed in Miami. He has not. He's not a three-point sniper anymore. And I don't understand why Coach Spo would not play James Jones.
Now that's what I don't know.
James Jones,
I don't understand that yet.
Shoot it. I mean, he can shoot it better than Mike Miller.
And not only that, he just has so much aggressive intensity. I mean, even on the defensive side, he's an aggravator. He's always running around like a chicken with his head cut off. I mean, he's that hustle player for the Heat. I don't really understand. I've been saying that the whole series. Where is James Jones? And when you played him, he did well for you. I don't get it.
And then somebody on Twitter told me,
oh Lord,
maybe Coach Spo is using Mike Miller and keep using him in the game for rebounds. I'm like, oh Lord.
Rebounds. Then he only had two rebounds. What rebounds?
Look, I'll respect anybody's opinion. I'm not going to go off on you. Rebounds?
You better
Mike
be.
Miller is not, he's not in the game for rebounds. The last time I checked, Mike Miller is a shooting guard. The last time I checked, his whole career, he's been successful because of what? He can shoot threes.
Yeah, exactly. That's all
He hasn't been shooting threes lately.
At all.
Wide open threes at that. Coach Bo, please play James Jones. I mean, every time he gets in the game, I see him knock down shots.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't knock down shots, he has an impact somewhere else on the court, whether it's defense. I don't see Mike Miller affect anything. That's when like rebounds. Wait a second, rebound. What rebounds? He had 2. I think the most I've seen rebounds out of him was 4, maybe 5.
So, no disrespect, but Mike Miller is not to be put in the game for some rebounds.
No, that's
He's supposed to
little
knock down shots, 3-point shots.
Yes, that's
it.
I
That's
mean,
why he's in the game.
I mean, I agree. I've been saying that. Like, where is James Jones? A couple of my followers have been saying, where is James Jones? I don't understand why Mike Miller's in there, but you know, Spoelstra got his reasons that we probably will never understand. Fine, whatever. I'm really kind of, I like what Shane is doing defensively.
I always respect Shane Battier's defensive.
I like it. I have no issue with it. But offensively, he's kind of pissing me off too, because he's getting these wide open jumpers as well, and he's kind of.
He's streaky. The thing about Shane Battier, when he's on, he's on.
When he's off, he's off.
But that's half of their roster besides LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, even though he's been streaky.
Yeah.
Mario Chalmers has been inconsistent, and I think he's the key in Game 7 and against OKC, because like I said, I have Miami beating Boston, but he is the key. If he could, Mario Chalmers is not scared to take a big shot.
No, he's not.
He has defense, and he can score the ball. But when you're playing with Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, it's kind of hard to get off like that. So,
and this is new territory for Mario.
Yeah,
I mean, he came from Kansas, where that wasn't. I mean, he hit the big shot that won Kansas the national championship. That's what we know. He's not afraid to take the big shot. But this is new for him. I mean, let's be real. He played the 2 guard at Kansas. So, I mean, I understand, like you said, with the added pressure of having LeBron and Wade, and we see him every moment, like, yelling at him for something, but I'm with you on this. I think he will be that X factor, because we know when he goes off with them both,
it's over.
It's over.
It can't be stopped. And look, I'm tired of hearing people say, if Miami loses, which I doubt they will, you need to break them up. Even if they don't lose, if they lose the finals. People just are impatient. And I mean, they got to the finals the second year. They went their first year with no chemistry.
Right.
I mean, the chemistry was terrible. And Dwayne Wade and LeBron just haven't learned how to work together.
They still kind of haven't figured that out.
Yeah, they still haven't quite figured it out, but they're getting there. And they don't. To me, you shouldn't break them up. I mean, 2 years and you're breaking the squad up.
I don't like breaking them up. I've been hearing everybody, like Magic Johnson said last night, don't nobody go nowhere. I mean, well, maybe Eric Spoelstra, but you know, as far as the players, this will be the second year. You got another. You at least give them 3 years. I mean, like they said, let them marinate. Let them get together, make some changes. Like we said, if anything, if anybody's gonna go, it has to be maybe some of these role players, like your Mike Miller, who's not doing anything. But saying let's get rid of, let's trade Bosh, let's trade James, let's trade Wade. What?
And look, Stephen A. Smith. Look, I love you, man. I think you're the best journalist out there. He proposed.
We gonna debate about that another time. Okay, go ahead.
LeBron James stays in Miami. Say if they lose. Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh should be traded for Paul Gasol and Kobe Bryant.
Okay, first of all, Black Mamba is not leaving LA. Let's just throw Kobe out the scenario. You can put Paul in there all you want, but Kobe is not leaving LA, especially to go play with no LeBron. I don't see that.
He's retiring a Laker. That would be amazing. I think Kobe will win at least 2 more championships with Steven.
Yeah, Steven.
That's not quite one. Now, on the other side of things, Boston. This is their last run.
Yeah, Boston's last run. Yeah.
And they're going to get broken up. My thing is, it's over for Boston after they get broken up. I mean, it's over.
It's
if
over.
you look at the roster,
Ray's gonna be his first to go.
Ray is going. I've heard that they're going to keep KG.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And Paul. I think they're going to keep KG and Paul.
Yeah, I mean, I figured they would. Obviously, I always figured Paul would stay. And I always figured KG was probably that up and down, probably would stay maybe, you know, because I figured he only has good maybe 2 years left before he's kind of like, okay, thanks for y'all the love. But Ray Allen, I knew he was gone pretty much after this season. There was a time before when I knew he was going to be more than likely gone. So, you know, I know Ray Allen's gone. I'm just more curious as far as Boston, because that's the funny thing with Danny Ainge. You know, he's trying constantly to get rid of Rondo.
Which I don't understand.
And the only thing I ever came up with was immaturity issues, because court-wise, boy is a beast, so I don't really get it.
Unless you trade Rondo for a Darren Williams, for a Chris Paul, somebody of that nature.
I mean, if I hear that Rondo's looking, you know, that Danny Ainge is looking to trade Rondo later on, I'm going to be really highly, like, upset and confused. So I really expect Ray Allen out of that main top 5 to kind of be the one to kind of go first. And then, like I said, I anticipate they're gonna shake up the, you know, the bench a little bit, just because there's so many people like Keon Doolin, Marquise Dan. You know,
I
people.
haven't seen Michael Peters hit a shot in 66 years either.
Man, I ain't never seen nobody go for a pump fake like Michael Peters do. Stay on your feet, Michael Peters. Dang, man, I'm sick. Oh my God, you know he gonna pump fake. Oh, good God.
I mean, LeBron was just unstoppable that day. That was another out-of-body experience.
Yeah, that's just out-of-body.
Honestly, I salute the Big Three from Boston, because I have a lot of respect for them, even when they beat my Lakers in the NBA Finals. I have so much respect, and I just have a lot of respect for them. I would really hate to see them break up like that.
I would, but
it is what it is. Their run is over.
I mean, their run is over. I mean, like I said, this was the first Big Three that we had. They did it, you know. They did well their first year. They did it calmly. They did it subtly. They didn't make no promises at an arena. But, you know, I'm going to be sad to see them go. This is a great team with a lot of pride, a lot of energy, and I'm going to miss them, because
I am too.
A lot of people, like I said, I think, you know, anybody who claims that they said that Boston was going to win or Boston was going to give up this fight, more than likely is not telling the truth. You got some people, at least my followers, everybody was saying this was going to be a sweep and at the least 5. I said 5-6, he said 6, and look at us. We are in Game 7. This just proves that, you know, we got to give props, big ups and props to Boston.
This is their last run, and they know it. So they're going to say we're going down. If we're going to go down, we're fighting hard.
I agree. So big ups to Boston. We both agree that the Heat are going to win Game 7. We'll miss you, original Big Three, before all the rest of these Big Threes. We will miss you. But, you know, we going with Miami now. So
Miami it is.
Miami, yes, Game 7 at home.